When creating a touchpoint cycle, you want your brand to be seen in as many places as possible. However, contrasting this traditional in Times Square to what we can create on digital, there's a couple major differences. One of them being that all right, we're walking up to Times Square. Let's check it out. So I'm sitting here in Times Square trying to contrast the difference between traditional, which is all around me, traditional marketing and branding, which this was the place that you would brand for the last 50 years. And then digital, which we do now. And there's a huge contrast. When I look around, there's everyone on all of the screens. If you were a brand, you wanted to be and still want to be on one of these screens. And I get why. And here's why businesses are still doing the right thing by advertising in Times Square. One, they've purchased advertising in a place where people congregate, so they don't have to spread out their advertising dollars over large areas. Everyone comes here, everyone looks around. Secondly, as I pitch with all clients, you get multiple touch points out of the advertising that you do here. Let me explain. If you put an ad here and someone's sitting taking a video like I am now or taking pictures, the advertising that you do gets captured in moments in time that get shared around the world and that stay within photo albums for a long period of time. What that does is it takes your touch points that you're buying today and translates it forward and gets you more for your dollar. The other thing that I see that companies are doing right here in Times Square is they're not selling. All the ads that I'm looking at are showing off an experience. The brands have figured out that selling is losing in this case, that they're just trying to transpire the brand experience and push it forward. And all of the ads that I look around are doing that, giving people an idea of what that brand's all about, trying to explain the why. Audiences are still looking how to skip over sales messages, and that's what I'm finding so interesting about looking at all the ads here, is, like I said, they're not. They're creating that experience, they're giving you value, and you're able to look at them and enjoy the artistic feel of what Times Square is able to develop for you. Still, as I look around, I have to contrast these ads to digital and to think about the amount of money that companies are spending every single year on traditional advertising still. I'm not saying that they should stop. When creating a touchpoint cycle, you want your brand to be seen in as many places as possible. However, contrasting this traditional in Times Square to what we can create on digital, there's a couple major differences. One of them being that I can guess, but I can't exactly measure the full scope of reach of what you get in Times Square in comparison to on digital, where we can measure almost everything. The other thing is, online advertising is still cheaper than what you create through your traditional presence. The touch points that you're creating are cheaper. So it's only a matter of time before some of these companies, and we're seeing it happen now, start to realize that and start to take more of their budgets and bring them online. This is so cool. This is where marketing was born. And I get goosebumps every time I come here because of the experience and the amount of people with their heads staring up at these video boards, soaking in the entire artistic feel of the square. But marketing and branding is changing, and as much as I won't ever steer a client away from some of the traditional aspects that gets them in front of people that they're looking for, digital provides so much more value that you can't get through mediums like this, such as being able to measure everything. I can't measure exactly the reach that you get from Times Square or the exact demographic that's looking at it. But what we can do on digital is we can measure every single small detail, tell you exactly what your advertising dollar is getting for you.